Hello everyone, welcome to Management Kaksha, a one-stop solution for all your management related queries. In today's video, we will be talking about a relatively new modern management theory known as Management by Objectives or MBO. The contents of this video are meaning of MBO, steps in the MBO process, SMART goal setting theory, difference between MBO and MBE, advantages of MBO and disadvantages of MBO. Meaning of MBO. Management by Objectives is a strategic management model that aims to improve the performance of an organization by clearly defining objectives that are agreed to both by the management and the employees. So if you have studied about the scientific management theory or even the administrative management, you will know that the importance in these classical approaches is given to the achievement of objectives which are already set by the top management. But according to MBO, which was formulated by Peter Drucker, having a say in the goal setting and action plans encourages participation and commitment among the employees as well as aligning the objectives across the organization. Ideally, the concept of this theory was that if the employees themselves are involved in the setting of goals and deciding their course of action, they are more likely to fulfill their obligations. Steps in the MBO process. So let us try to understand the steps in the MBO process with the help of an example. Imagine we are taking this problem of an IT organization with more than 500 employees and they provide both services and product to the clients. So there's an IT organization with more than 500 people and they have both services and products. The organization is a few years old, but from past few months, the client satisfaction is not that great and even the employee attrition rate is increasing. So now the board gets together to find a solution for this problem. The first step in the MBO process is to define the organization goals. In this step, either the current organization goals are defined or they are revised. The goals and objectives should be derived from the firm's mission and vision statement. So when this IT organization was formed, the mission and vision of the organization were already set. But now there is a little problem. So the goals and objectives of the organization have to be revised to achieve the already set vision and mission statement. So if the goal of this IT organization is to be the industry leader, then the plan should be laid out to achieve this particular vision. Now the organization goals are set. The next step is to translate the organizational objectives to the employee objectives. After the organization's objectives are shared with the employees, employees should be encouraged to help set their own objectives to achieve these larger organizational objectives. First, the organization objectives are set. Then, the organization must focus on setting the employee objectives. If the employee objectives are set, then the larger organizational objectives will also be achieved. And this also gives the employees greater motivation since they have greater empowerment. Some of the examples for employee objectives can be to deliver excellent targets, to enhance domain-specific knowledge, leadership development, skill development, etc. So all these individual employee objectives will in turn help achieve the larger organizational objective of the organization, which is to be the industry leader. The organizational goals are set and even the employee objectives are aligned with the organizational goals. Now the next step is to continue monitoring performance of the employees. Continuous evaluation will help both the organization and the employees to understand if there are any hurdles and work on them. While doing continuous monitoring and evaluation, if any setbacks are found, the fourth step in the MBO process is to provide feedback and improve the performance. The performance review is achieved by the participation of the managers concerned. The next step is of performance appraisal. The employees are awarded either monetary or non-monetary benefits for the work they've done. The performance appraisal and the performance evaluation steps both includes honest feedback on what was achieved and not achieved for each employee. SMART goal setting theory. To translate the organizational objectives to the employee objectives, Peter Drucker used the acronym SMART to express the concept. The SMART goal setting theory is very famous and applicable not just in the business environment but also in everyday life situations. We'll be covering this specific topic in detail in another video. For now, let me just brief you through the SMART goal setting theory. Goals are a part of every aspect, either it is a business or in the everyday life. Goals provide a sense of direction, motivation, and clear focus. By setting goals, you are providing yourself with a target to aim for. SMART is the acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Therefore, a SMART goal incorporates all of these criteria to help focus your efforts and increase the chance of achieving your goal. Differences between management by objectives and management by exception. MBO was first proposed by Peter Drucker in his book of Practice of Management in 1954. It is defined as a management model that attempts to devise a common objective that is acceptable for both the management and the employees, which will improve the overall performance of the organization. Management by exception is a management style which identifies the practical deviations from the standard or the best practice. In MBO, the idea was to have an organizational objective aligning with the employee objective. In management by exception, the management is concerned with the issue if there is a significant deviation from the actual performance. So, for example, management will not take corrective action until and unless there is a major deviation in the organization which is affecting the output. The differences in the employee participation are: in MBO, employee participation is essential as a common objective needs to be attained. In MBE, employee participation in the planning process and the decision making process is minimal and all of the responsibility is rested with the senior management only. The differences in role ambiguity are: in MBO, there is a clear description of personal responsibility of the employees towards the organizational goals, which is communicated and understood clearly. In MBE, there is a lack of clarity and the employees perform according to the generic responsibility without understanding their role in the overall achievement of the objectives. The differences in dependency are: in MBO, the dependency on one department or group is less as operations are handled with organizational wide participations. In MBE, the dependence on one department, especially of financial analysis or accounts, is high as they are responsible for forecasting, budgeting, and monitoring. Further, they are responsible even for the communication of significant deviations. The differences in efficiency are: in MBO, as there is an active involvement of the whole organization in the decision making process, it leads to delays and complex procedures, and there is reduced efficiency. In MBE, as only the top management makes the important decisions and the rest of the work is performed by the workers, there is better efficiency. Advantages of management by objectives. Management by objectives helps employees appreciate their on-job roles and responsibilities. MBO approach usually results in better teamwork and communication. It provides the employees with a clear understanding of what is expected of them. The supervisor sets goals for every member of the team, and every employee is provided with a list of unique tasks that are required to be performed by them. Every employee is assigned a set of unique goals, hence each employee feels indispensable to the organization and eventually develops a sense of loyalty. Disadvantages of management by objectives. MBO often ignores the organization's existing or current ethics and working conditions. More emphasis is given on goals and targets. The process of MBO was introduced for employee involvement, willingness to contribute, and the growth of the organization. But sometimes the managers forget the core of MBO and put constant pressure on the employees just to achieve the goals and targets. Finally, there is a tendency for many managers to see management by objectives as a total system that can handle all the management issues once installed. It creates over dependence on MBO system, and which may create problems which the system is not ready to tackle. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share to Management Kaksha.